Hey guys, my name is Divya. I'm a doctor. My specialty is pharmacology. I now hold a management position in a healthcare company, and I've been doing management with a healthcare company for a while. I recently took the SHRM exam, and I cracked it. It was the SHRM-SCP exam. So I've been making a series of videos on how to get going with SHRM, how to get certified, and how to study for the exam. This is my 6th video in a series of videos, so I will link the other videos in the description box below, so you can check it out. My previous video was dedicated to the people taking the test in the winter testing window, which will begin somewhere in December, and it focused on how to get started and how to get going in terms of studying for the SHRM exam. So this video is obviously a part 2 because it basically is talking about how to get going, how to keep going in terms of studying for the SHRM exam. So while I was studying for the exam, there were lots of low points, lots of times where I felt that I wouldn't be able to make it. And those are the tips that I wanted to share in this video. These tips are more like feelings because this is what you feel when you're studying or trying to achieve something big, and these feelings can become hurdles. So the only thing I really wanted to share in this video is how to overcome these feelings or hurdles and keep going to achieve the target. The target would be to crack the exam and actually get certified. So here we go. Tip number 1. Well, I should say feeling number 1. So feeling number 1 is it takes me forever to get through a particular section or a small section. So when I started off studying the technical competencies in the SHRM books, there are 3 technical competencies: people, workplace, and organization. So I had set a schedule for myself, and my schedule said that I should finish people in 2 weeks. So if you've looked at the people cluster, it has 5 topics in it, which is HR strategic planning, talent acquisition, employee engagement, etc., etc. And I thought I was going to get through all 5 of them in 2 weeks. Now, each of these topics has at least 4 or 5 subtopics. Each of these topics has 4 or 5 subtopics. And when I was studying, it felt like every subtopic was taking about 2 hours a day. This is the time when I was really annoyed at myself. I was angry. And I was angry because I thought I'm a slow learner and I'm never going to get through the material. So what I want to tell you is that this is a completely normal feeling. You feel like you're going to do all this in about a couple of weeks when, it takes 1 week to cover maybe, a quarter or 1/10 of the material. And this is okay. This is completely normal. Just know that a good job takes a while sometimes, and that if you're at it, it's going to be completely fine. Distractions are normal while studying, so yes, our mind gets distracted, but as long as we come right back and give the dedicated an hour and a half, 2 hours a day, we'll be just fine. It might look like just a couple of pages in those entire 2 hours of studying, but that's fine. That happens to everybody. I think we should just go with the flow and take it in stride. Okay, feeling number 2. I feel completely blank the very next day. So this happened to me a ton of times, especially when I was halfway through my study. I would study something, let's just say on a Monday, and come Tuesday morning, I wouldn't remember a thing. I wouldn't even remember what I looked at or studied. So when you're halfway through your studying, or you've already done a month and a half, your brain is somewhat tired. It's like being halfway through a marathon. I think it's a completely normal feeling for the brain to be fatigued and not be able to recollect what you studied the previous day. So here the solution is really simple. All we have to do is just review the material. Okay, I know now everyone's going to be angry saying I don't have the time to re-review the material because I have other things to do and other topics to cover. So what am I supposed to do? So here's my suggestion. If you don't have the time to re-review the entire material that you studied the previous day, just go over the quizzes. If you do just go over the quizzes, it will force you to actively recall what you studied the previous day. And if you have just 10-15 minutes more, maybe you can just look at the broader topics that were covered the previous day instead of reading every line and every word. This will also cement your knowledge and learning, and it will just make you feel confident that this feeling of being blank is just a feeling. So we can overcome that hurdle either by re-reviewing or by cracking the quizzes or looking at the broader topics or the bigger sections within whatever we studied. Feeling number 3, I'm never going to get through this. I know that this is a lot of material and it always feels like you wouldn't finish, but everybody goes through this feeling, and the only way to overcome it is to know that if we do a little bit every day, and even though it feels really little, it feels like a page or a paragraph, it is adding to what we've done. And little things lead to something big because they all come together at the end. So these are my 3 feelings, my 3 tips that I would say. Don't think that it's too much material. Even if you're feeling blank, know that a lot of people go through that feeling. And even if you feel that you should have studied way more number of pages in a particular hour or in a particular day, whatever you did, just know that it was worth it because you were actually studying. This video is dedicated to the people who are taking the exam in the winter testing window. I know that it's coming up soon and in December. Well, the exam is going to be in December, but I think this is the time when you should really cash in on the studying. So if I can help with anything or there are any video suggestions, then please let me know. One last thing before I leave. The early bird discount for people who are going to sign up for the winter testing window ends on October 16th, 2020. This gives you a $100 discount on the exam, on the SHRM exam, so I highly recommend that you sign up before that. Thank you so much for watching.